Really moving to hear that song, Joe McElderry and The Climb on BBC Radio Sheffield. You're listening to Paulette. So I've got a musical start to the show for you today. The wonderful Joe McElderry first came to our attention in 2009 when he won X Factor with that wonderful song. So since then, Joe's been delighting fans with new music and tours and working regularly with Sheffield singer and producer Helen Boulding. This is their latest collaboration. So that's enough for you for now, because I'm going to play the full version of the song in just a moment. But welcome to the show, Joe McElderry and his South Yorkshire partner in crime, Helen Boulding. How are you two this morning?
Good morning.
Oh, you sound full of beans, you two. Hello, Helen. So, Joe, first of all, to both of you, Joe and Helen, congratulations on the new single out now. How do you feel about it, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, it's been lovely to release this one, because we've sat on this song for quite a while, actually. I think Helen will probably correct us if I'm right, but we wrote this about 2 years ago, Helen, was it, I think?
Yeah, about 2018, I think it was. In Newcastle we wrote it.
Yes, Helen came up to my house for a few days writing, and we had this terrible piano that basically we had a studio book and it ended up being cancelled for some reason. And poor Helen had to play the music on my grandma's terrible broken Casio piano. So out of tragedy came a wonderful song.
Absolutely.
Oh, with the help of your grandma probably in there. Can I ask you, Helen, just as a sneaky, I mean, he's not listening, Joe, now, what's his house like?
Wonderful. Very positive. Joe has positive messages all over the walls and wherever you go. Even when you go into the loo, there's positive messages on the wall. And every time I'm with Joe or I've been at his place, I just come out bouncing with positivity.
Oh, that's
really nice. Thank you. Well, the feeling's mutual, Helen. We're very positive, I think, when we work together, and we tend to sit and chat about life for about 5 hours before we actually do something, and then we normally come out with something really good because we've chatted for so long.
Oh, it's juicing that creative process, isn't it, talking about life before just finding out where you are. So how did you actually meet then, Joe? How did you meet our Helen?
So so basically for my Here's What I Believe album, which I think came out in about 2012 or 13 maybe, I was sent by my record label at the time to a writing camp in London, and basically, if people don't know what writing camp is, hundreds of songwriters are all in one building, and everybody kind of goes off into different studios and does different writing sessions. And I was there, so a lot of the writers were there to kind of write for me or for the album with the idea that some of the songs would be featured on it. And me and Helen got paired up with a few other writers, and got on so well and just struck up a friendship. And obviously, a few of the songs that we worked on ended up on that album. And then after that, we just kept in touch, and we'd drop a text message a few times. Helen would come and see shows. And then, about a year later, I texted her and said, listen, I had such a great time writing with you. Is there any chance we could do some more stuff? So we went down to Sheffield and wrote, and we've just kept doing it. And then obviously this year we released Baby Had Your Fun in January, and then decided to give them something more. So decided to work on I Am an Army.
Oh, we're hungry for you. We're hungry for you, Joe, down here, which is absolutely fantastic. So, Helen, how come you've not told your Auntie Paulette about your liaisons with Joe McElderry? I'm disappointed with you, Helen Boulding.
Well, he's my best kept secret, Paulette. and we're now we've got some right stuff in the locker. Honestly, we've got about 30 hits in our locker.
Yeah, well, we spent the most of lockdown last year didn't we, over Zoom. Because obviously in the first lockdown, kind of we had nothing to do because you couldn't go anywhere. So we went on Zoom probably about once or twice a week and just kept writing.
Yeah, we wrote internationally on Zoom, didn't we? We brought in a writer he was in Minneapolis at the time, and then we wrote with another writer in Denmark 3 ways on Zoom. Yeah, so it's been very creative.
Oh, you're not messing about, you. And Helen, can I just ask you, did you know about Joe through X Factor? Did you see him perform?
Yeah, I remember seeing Joe. I remember Joe winning it. and thinking how handsome he was. I thought he must be Irish. And I thought he was, what a big voice he had, Joe. And it's just amazing to write songs with someone who has such a big voice, because there's no limit. You can go anywhere.
Well, what I like about Joe's voice is, and I'm talking about you, Joe, I know you're there, I know you're in the room, but I'm talking about you, is a big voice with vulnerability. There's a real vulnerability underneath that voice, and we're going to hear that now in this song. So I've got Joe McElderry and Helen Boulding with me. Together, they have contributed to this beautiful song. Joe, would you like to introduce it for us?
Yes, this is I Am an Army by me and Helen Boulding, and I really hope you enjoy this. This is a new single.
BBC Radio Sheffield.
I came this far with armored heart, and my head held high, grenades falling from the sky. And you beat your drum like a firing gun, but I hear no sound, the love beat out too loud. You know it all, you think it's right, you love the hurt, you want the fight, you try, but I never feel you, 'cause you try to break me, try to shake me, but I am an army. You try to hate me, but it only makes me, 'cause I am an army. Like an arrow sharp when it leaves the bow, you'll never know where I'm gonna go. I let it time, the speed is mine, I walk and fly across the line. I know I'll run through your wild storm, 'cause you try to break me, try to shake me, but I am an army. You try to hate me, but it only makes me, 'cause I am an army. So kicking down these doors, I have their hands against my back, holding me, pushing me, pulling me, lifting me, they guide me through. And you try to break me, try to shake me, but I am an army. You try to take me, but you only wake me, and I am an army. You try to rule me, but you only feel me, 'cause I am an army. You wanna hate me, but it only makes me, 'cause I am an army.
BBC Radio Sheffield, Joe McElderry and I'm an Army. New song that he's written along with Helen Boulding. I'm talking to both of them. So Helen's a Sheffield singer-songwriter. Both been working on that track. There are so many questions I've got to ask you about that beautiful, powerful song. Joe, can I just start by asking you who the you is in there? You tried to break me. Who's the you in there?
Well, I think when we wrote this, I was coming up to it was coming up to about 10 years since X Factor. And we were, if I remember rightly, the day that we wrote this, we were chatting about how lucky I have been to have such an incredible supportive fan base, and how they've kind of, through the kind of rises and falls of the music industry that everybody goes through in a normal career. But when you've been on X Factor, every single moment is kind of documented as the most, intense thing. So we were talking about that whole experience and how I've been lucky that, 10 years later, the fans are still so supportive. They come to the shows. I think I might have been on tour at the same time. And we kind of wanted to create this, and you know, and also I've got such a great support behind the scenes, like friends and family who've kind of been the backbone to my career, you know, of kind of just supporting us through learning how to, you know, process the music industry on a daily basis. And so the you is kind of anybody that kind of tries to drag you down, you know. We've all got them in our lives. We've always got kind of energy suckers that want to try and bring you down when you're having a great day or when you have a bit of success. They always want to try and say something negative. And we wanted to spin it and kind of say, they can say that, but when you have the right people around you who love and care about you and lift you up, then it's just noise, do you know what I mean? And you can kind of push through that.
Yeah, and they make part of that army. You become an army with the people who support you. It's just a beautiful song, a very inspiring song as well. Helen, is your voice on there?
It is actually. It's on the backing vocals. It's me and J. Marie Cooper doing backing vocals with Joe in there too. We've created our own gospel choir.
Yes. How did you feel actually singing along with that? Because listening to it feels emotional. Is it emotional singing on a song like that?
Absolutely. And when I've been listening to the mixes and the masters, because we go through a process of, you know, many versions. There's been many times I've been, you know, driving around listening in my car, weeping.
Yeah.
People would be thinking, who's that nutter at the traffic light?
Yeah.
It really gets me and what it means, because Joe's got a really remarkable family as well as his fans, as have I, and so we share that affinity of having that support system, and you think about those people who do support you when you listen to it and it moves you.
It really does. And we were thinking as well, Jen, who produces, and I were thinking about the pandemic and how that's tried to break a lot of us, and you know, could be the pandemic, couldn't it? So that's a huge thing as well.
We did that actually, didn't we, Joe? We said this is like a pandemic song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and I think it's like everybody's, I suppose, being in lockdown, you know, over the last year for many people, it's kind of heightened people's own personal battles because you've had so much more time to think about things, you know, and there's a great thing about stillness, but it also makes you reassess everything, doesn't it? And it kind of, you know, I know a lot of my friends and family and stuff, we all kind of struggled through lockdown of just kind of being like, how do we do this? Like, what do we do? Like, what's the right way to kind of get through this? So, yeah, I think if you listen to some of those words, it's an empowering kind of, as we're starting to slowly get back into normality, I suppose you could apply the words to that as well, yeah.
Absolutely could. So, Joe McElderry, then, are you going on tour at any point? Have you got anything planned?
I am. I go on tour. Well, this tour is a bit of a funny one because obviously it was supposed to be last year's tour, and it's now going ahead in September. So if anybody wants to find out where we are, if you go to joemckelderryofficial.com/tour, all the dates are there and they're all on sale. It's going to be, I'm really looking forward to it. It feels like the tour that was never going to happen because obviously last year I was all ready to do it. Then it was like, no, we're not doing it now. So I'm so excited to just see audiences again. And obviously we've got the new singles that we released in January and now. So I can't wait to play those live.
Yeah.
And obviously the old favourites, a bit of The Climb, which obviously people heard as well. So I'm really excited because it's I think people have missed live music so much, so I can't wait.
Yeah, you feel as if you've bloomed in that time as well. So, Helen, will you be on the tour with Joe, or have you got separate things arranged for your own performances?
I'll pop in and watch him on the show.
Pop in and watch him.
I won't be on the stage with him.
So you're not going to be backing that if he sings that song, aren't you going to be there in the backing vocals then?
Yeah, maybe you could. You'll probably be there in the vocals. Maybe you could come on as a cameo, Helen.
Yeah, Helen, I've just got you a job.
I'll have to get out my best dress.
Well, you've got plenty. You'll be fine. If you're like me, you'll have a couple in the wardrobe that you've not even worn. You bought them during lockdown and you've not worn them yet. So get one of them out, shake it up and get it on. Yeah, Febreze it a bit and get it on. You'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. I know there are other ways of getting your clothes freshened up. Joe, can I ask you a cheeky question before you go? I saw some pictures of you and you've got beautiful dark hair, chocolatey eyes, you know, easy on the eye. There's a picture of you blonde. Is that going to happen again?
Well, I did. Did you see everybody in lockdown last year went through the blonde phase of just because they didn't kind of have to go anywhere? They thought, I'll try the blonde. And normally when people go from brown hair to blonde with peroxide dye, it's normally disastrous. But I did it about 2 summers ago. I had a little bit of time off and I thought, do you know what? I'll give it a go. And it was a very, very divided reaction. I've actually never seen such a reaction on social media since... there was more reaction for my blonde hair than I think there was when I won the X Factor. Put it that way.
Helen, what did you think of it? What did Helen think of it?
I thought it looked great.
Yeah, I did. I
loved
liked it. Yeah, and it's
It's a
what
bit
Helen and I.
Bowden.
Well, we matter, don't we, Helen? It's you and Paulette. Helen and Paulette. That's what matters, Joe. So we
It's a
think.
lot of what I will say is it's a lot of upkeep though. If you've got brown hair, it's a lot. It's all the purple shampoo. The bathroom was covered in purple shampoo. I thought this slide's not for me. I like to just get up, blow dry my hair, and I'm out the door. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if you have a hit with this song,
Your hair, Joe, is amazing. He's got wavy,
thick hair. It's beautiful and shiny. Yeah.
Thick black lashes, eyelashes, you know.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I'm getting all the compliments today. Thank you.
Yeah, I know, it's not fair, Helen, is it? We need some.
I have to go and dye my eyelashes to get them nice and dark.
Oh, Helen, you don't need to tell us all that. You look fine. You look gorgeous. You look absolutely beautiful. So, Joe and Helen, thank you so much for joining us. You've really kick-started the day beautifully, thinking about inspiring things and also having a bit of a giggle as well. And we're hoping that your single is going to be a huge success. Where can we listen to it, Joe?
So it's available on all streaming platforms. And if you want an easy route, just go straight to joemcalderry.com and you can click straight on a button and it takes you everywhere to where you get all of your music.
Can we see your blonde on there as well?
Yeah, you probably can. There's probably some footage of videos of that as well.
Very good. Thank you very much, Joe McElderry. And thank you very much, Helen Boulding as well from Sheffield. They're talking to us about their brand new track, I Am an Army. As Joe says, it's available all over at shop.
BBC Radio Sheffield.
Wales on the backstage!